I see it's time for you to be going, so...
It is.
Let's take a trip.
Okay.
All right.
Rochelle is out the door at 7:30 this morning. She's a student at Brigham Young University and is heading to a local elementary school to do her student teaching. Rochelle was born with Spina Bifida. She's never had the use of her legs. Her car is specially fitted so that the brakes and gas can be controlled with her hands.
Good morning. We're going to read a book. It's in here, and it's called How My Parents Learned to Eat.
The book Rochelle reads to the children today is about two people from different countries who are afraid they won't get along because they eat their food differently.
Did you guys like that story? It's a fun story, isn't it? Do you think it would be fun or scary to learn new things?
I already know how to eat.
Fun? Do you know how to eat with chopsticks? Kind of. It would be kind of fun, isn't it? Sometimes things scare us at first because we don't know what they're like. We don't know what's going to happen to us. But once we do it, we're okay with it, and it turns out to be fun, right?
Rochelle's goal is to become a teacher or counselor for young people with disabilities.
Now, I noticed here in one of the reading lists that you have, there's a story here written, in fact, by your grandmother. Is that right?
That's correct.
What's this based on?
It's based on me. When I was born, my mom was a little frustrated because she would take me to the library and all of the characters in the books could walk, or if they had some type of disability, at the end it turned out okay and they no longer had the disability, and my mom was frustrated because with my spina bifida, I will not ever be out of my wheelchair. And so my grandmother at the time was writing novels for junior high kids and for high school students, and my mom called and said, would you write a story? And so she did. So the story is based on, it's called The Balancing Girl. And my grandmother feels that I have a talent with balancing.
So, from reading the story to them, what do you think they'll learn?
Just to let them know that just because there's somebody who's different, it doesn't mean that they can't associate with them. It's not something to be afraid of. Let's see.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Well, it looks like we'll have peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Sounds good.
Rochelle is back for lunch at the apartment she shares with 4 other girls. She asks for and requires no special attention from her roommates.
You know, I know that people really want to help, but sometimes it's too much. You know?
Yeah. People ask me that a lot. A lot of times with people with disabilities, it's different for everybody. So what you ask somebody else may say no. For me, a good guideline is go ahead and ask me, but don't be offended if I say no. I tend to be very independent and like to do things on my own, but I don't mind you asking.
This brings up a really important question of how, if things are really accessible to you, you know.
Usually most stores now have handicap parking out front, and so getting in and out of stores not too bad. Going to the library, there are several books that I can't reach. A lot of times I go with somebody. I've had quite a few people parking in my handicap parking spot out front, which makes it impossible for me to get in, and that's frustrating. Things have changed a lot. Like, I used to not be able to go to a fast food restaurant and be able to use the restroom because there was no wheelchair restroom stuff for me to use.
Yeah, how do you feel, meaning the gospel, meaning Heavenly Father, how do you feel that He plays a part in this?
I feel that I am a child of God and that He loves me regardless if I'm in a wheelchair or not, and that my spirit is still the same, even though it may not be in a body that has perfect health. But it is a struggle. Even though I've been born with my condition, I still struggle with it every day, and especially for those who just have a disability because of an injury. I like to tell them, you know, it is a struggle. You can keep a positive attitude, though. There are many wonderful things in life. Just because you can't use your arms or your legs or whatever doesn't mean that you have to miss out on everything in life. There's ways to adapt. People ask me, well, oh, I can't believe you can't walk. You know, how is it like? Well, I don't know what it's like to walk, so I don't know how to make a comparison.
That's true. And yet there are other things that you can do that other people can't do.
That's right.
Like popping wheelies in your wheelchair.
Oh, this must be the popping wheelies time, huh?
Go for it.
Okay. How far do you want me to go?
In the afternoon, Rochelle works at the University Office of Services for Students with Disabilities.
Okay, now what would you say to teenagers who are thinking about college that may have a disability of some sort?
I would say go for it. Don't have any inhibitions. It'll be a big adjustment. Everything in life there is a big adjustment, and there's things that you currently do in your household that would have to change a little bit, and so be prepared for change, but I would say go for it. There's nothing that you can't do regardless of disability or not.
Though serious about her work and convictions, Friday night on campus is set aside for fun. Dinner with a good friend, and yes, dancing. Why not?
I've been thinking about that a lot lately, actually, and wondering what kind of person would I be? What would my personality be like if I did not have spina bifida? And it probably would be a lot different because a lot of the things that I've gone through in my life have been a result of having spina bifida.